Okay, what's up, everybody? This is a Fulan Speaks Sports video. And what we got coming up right now is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington football team, formerly known as Redskins. Okay, will be this Sunday. And no fans. All because of the Ubaka going around, right? They want everybody walking around looking like this. Yeah, I'm out here messing up, right, when I'm driving. They want everybody walking around like that, right? Because they believe that this little shit right here can stop a microscopic little tiny organism from going in here. Needless to say, to me, the whole thing is some bullshit, right? I call it a plandemic, not a pandemic. I believe we're being conditioned, for something bigger, right? So when the time comes and they gotta call you and tell you to stay in your house, you already know how to do that. How to stay 6 feet away from somebody. Why 6? I don't know. Because it's one of 666 maybe. I don't know. But they like the number 6 or something, right? So just keep it in mind, the number 6, right? Because there's no medical significance about 6 feet at all. Okay. But at any rate, right, there won't be fans there because they still playing this game, this political game, with the Ubaka. Football. Philadelphia Eagles should win in a nutshell. You shouldn't be losing to the Washington Redskins. When I look at the Washington football team. When I look at Washington, I see a young quarterback. I think they're going to go with Haskins. Probably a good move for him. He got off on us last year in a game that he played. I don't see that happening. I believe our secondary is much improved, especially at the cornerback position. At the safety position, it remains to be seen whether or not Jalen Mills, our new starting safety, who was a horrible coverage corner, whether or not he can play safety. I've been hearing in camp that he's doing well at safety. Hey, maybe he'll be a beast at safety. Malcolm Jenkins was a similar situation where he was a guy who couldn't really cut it as a corner in New Orleans. So, but he ended up being a really upper echelon safety. Maybe that'll happen for Jalen. Maybe he's just fast enough for safety, just smart enough to know how to read the coverages that need to be read and all of that good stuff. Cool. But my man, Darius Slay. Big play Slay from Detroit. So I won't be worried about McLaurin, that little receiver that Washington had who was torching us last year. Ain't worried about him. I think Darius is going to handle that. And then we got Avonte Maddox on the other side, who I think really received the job for a number of reasons. Number one, he was able to stay healthy. Sidney Jones could not. And he has good speed. Runs a 4.3, 40. So, because he's under 4.4, put it that way. So because of that, he probably started on that side. So I think we'll be pretty strong there. We've added a couple of safeties. Will Parks, I'm not sure if he's going to play, but the guy we got from from Clemson, I'm thinking named Kevon Wallace, something like that. We're going to get to see him play a little bit in that the nickel and dime packages, So I'll be looking forward to that. So when we look at the advantages, Wentz versus Haskins, Wentz has to get the nod, obviously. Haskins is still a young quarterback. Offensive lines. That's the only question the Eagles probably have going into this game. Jason Peters will be starting on the left side. Again, that's good. Lane Johnson should be there. We should have Kelsey there. We should have Sayamalu there. It's just that guard position filling in for Brandon Brooks, which is a question mark, but I don't think a guard position is going to kill us. I don't know who we're really going to plug in there. I haven't really even looked at the final determinations for that, but I'm not too worried. The only advantage is Washington's defensive line might be able to take advantage of them. You know, they got Kerrigan, they got some other good guys right there who always give us fits. But you put together a good enough game plan, man, and using a lot of misdirection. If Wentz is smart with the ball, he gets rid of it and stuff like that, and we run the ball effectively, I don't see how, you know, that should be that much of a problem. Especially with Peters and Johnson really, you know, handling the tackle spots. Our defense versus their offense, I think my secondary will do well against their receivers. Their running game, you know, they release Adrian Peterson. They're going with the running back they have. Look, I'm just not worried about the Redskins. Like, getting all super analytical over that. For what? Right? Washington Redskins are just going to probably be last in the division. I think the Giants will be better than them. So we might as well start it off the way it needs to be started off. Go ahead out there and trash the Redskins. Despite the Ubaka that's going around. And concerning the Ubaka, I think the NFL will go straight through it, because I believe there's a lot of people who understand that COVID-19 is some bullshit, but they don't have the heart to say it. Like, just listening to Jeffrey Lurie talk about it and listening to some of the Eagles, and if you read between the lines, especially when listening to Brian Baldinger, a lot of them understand it's a bunch of bullshit. A lot of numbers are inflated. People don't really die from COVID in and of itself, but what happens is that if you have a pre-existing condition, it can affect you, because what really happens is that the weakened immune system feels threatened by something that it doesn't recognize, so it overreacts. Now, this is happening less and less because this shit is out in the environment, and it's been out here. And there's actually different types of COVID. There's different levels of it. So most of the tests that they're giving isn't even distinguishing between what types of COVID you have. There's some that are not dangerous at all, some types, and you have a positive test result coming up. So it's all a bunch of, like, it really is a bunch of bullshit, right? So at any rate, man, my prediction: Eagles should be able to put up some points against these guys. But it still is week one, and there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of, like, chemistry and all of that. So I'll say we're going to score 24. I say we're going to get 24 on them. And the Redskins, because they'll get us in week one and we won't have everything down, they might be able to put up about 17. You know, they'll get a late touchdown in the end. I think they'll struggle. They'll get an early touchdown in the first quarter, but they'll struggle to score another again. They'll get a couple of field goals. They'll end up with 17, something like that. And we'll be able to put up about 24. All right, so week one, Eagles, Redskins. Eagles, 24. Washington. I keep saying Redskins, it's crazy. Washington football team, 17.